Taipei 101 has gone through a lot of energy efficiency retrofits since it was
Yes.
first built.
Yes.
And I want to ask you about them, but I guess I want to start with why so many retrofits and why not so efficient at the beginning?
All right. It's because when we're first built, right, we have done certain designs according to the green building concept. However, it's mainly in the in the smart systems and also the MEPs. It was just designed as a typical, or I would say a more advanced, typical skyscraper. So when it comes to LEED, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, as prescribed by USGBC. We wanted that recognition and that certification. That required a different set of, obviously, O&M. There's
Operations
yeah,
and management.
that's right. It requires certain credits in 5 major categories. So in order to score in all that fields, we need to undergo some retrofitting. I mean, I wouldn't say retrofitting, but more like upgrading. Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 years after completion of the project, there was a
Yes.
major retrofit or upgrade for LEED certification.
Yes, it was mainly trying to do a self-audit, find out where are the places that we could really go further enhancement, how we could better improve ourselves, and also because we wanted to remain the first.
Yeah.
And we had the title up from 2005 when it's first built all the way to 2010 when we lost that ranking to Burj Khalifa. So after that, the management started thinking something special. It's a content that makes a building special. Contents like events, and for a while we were wondering what our CSR spirit would be. CSR, and we're one of those companies that's not required, but we volunteered to issue our CSR report every year, and we've been doing that for the last 3 years. And so with this LEED exercise and the certification at platinum level, that gave us an edge in CSR, and also the subsequent awards that we gained for ourselves in the field of green building and green environment.
And with that original retrofit or upgrade for energy efficiency,
Yes.
where did you find the best energy savings, and what lessons does that hold for other buildings that might want to do the same thing?
Yes, actually that required one to understand where we consume the most energy. So when we did, that's called an energy signature, and we discovered that actually energy itself, electricity's consumption, took up 1/3, and another 1/3 is consumptions by the tenants. So the rest of it, including elevators and common areas, that's miscellaneous. So energy alone scores the highest, takes up the biggest proportion, and we really needed to work on that, how to cut back on energy, as simple as that. The second area that we needed to look at is the water savings. Where can we save water consumption? I mean, sometimes it was never a problem for us to have surplus or enough rain, but it's as the seasons get drier. But it's not because we're short in water. We've never encountered that, but mainly to be environmentally conscious. So those are the 2 major areas. The rest are things, for example, sustainable environment and innovations and tenant engagement and a bunch of societal involvement things that will involve your stakeholders. Those are the important things that we also needed to look at. However, we would start with energy. So for energy alone, we began to install the inverters in our chillers and our pumps, in our HVAC system to make it more efficient, more energy saving. We reused the rainwater, and so the rainwater was collected from the podiums from 34th floor up. And because of the shape of the building, it's 8 decks and with 8 floors per deck. So it's shaped in such a way, it's just like a bowl that you can take in the rainwater. So it's received and then down to the basement level where the water gets well recycled and treated, water treatment, sedimentation and all that, and then got pumped back up to flush the toilet in the mall, and also for irrigation on the landscape.
So the most recent energy efficiency upgrade was to bring it up to speed to LEED version 4,
Yes.
operations and management.
Yes.
Tell me about that process.
Okay, that process actually is a very tedious process because, as you can imagine, we have done a major part of the effort was spent in 2010, and one would easily think that, oh, so you've done the same thing, why don't you just reissue that again, and then you will automatically score a platinum. But it's not as simple as that because V4 is so much higher in standard.
How so?
Yes. When we did a quick calculation, based on everything the same, the scoring we had on the basic 5 categories was 54. If we submitted for V4, the credits will be down to 40. And it takes at least 80 to score a platinum. So we really needed to gear up and look for areas. And given that the building is built, one can really add in fancy stuff like solar panels here and there, and make your building creating green energy. I mean, that really requires some major retrofitting. We're not looking into that, but just to tediously work and to further find out where we can refine each of the categorical areas. So we went to look at the meterings wherever that require additional meterings, and also we signed a special contract with Taipei. It's called Advanced Demand Response, ADR. So what that means is that Taipei 101 voluntarily will lower our peak hour consumption when it's peak hour for Taipei. So to move our loading off the power grid. And so we find alternative ways to deal with our, the shortage.
How do you do that? Because it seems like the peak usage of the building would depend on when the tenants wanted to use energy. So how do you shift that?
Yeah, it's done through the AC. Yeah, and it's a secret.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the most difficult aspect of that most recent energy efficiency upgrade? Where was the most challenging place to achieve savings?
I would say it's the tenant engagement. Yeah. I mean, they're all very difficult. And so as I had explained, working details and really diligently. So we try to find out some innovative measures. Yeah, innovative measures to, to either in the pilot credits or, in places where we could be awarded that. So that option does not include buying the RECs, which is recycled energy from other places, which we did for our first certification, honestly speaking. So we're not going to do that. So the other areas that we looked at were, things such as signing the ADR and also submitting for, biodiversity preservation outside of Taipei 101 in a place called Hsinchu, which is 2 hours drive, actually a little bit over 1 hour drive. That will give us 1 point for a sustainable site and various other things. Yeah, so basically you have to go down the list, work it out, and try not to lose scores.